It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Brooklyn Cafe studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat at the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, or a movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in free 888-994-4995 right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe.
Teddy, you caught him mid-chew.
On a beautiful Thursday afternoon.
I'm going to get you like a splash shield.
What?
Splash shield. Splash shield? Mm-hmm. How you doing? Good afternoon to you. Happy Thursday, everyone. TBT. I think I posted a TBT on our Instagram page, so you'll see it on Instagram and Facebook. It was when we were on remote a year ago at Carmen Care Cell Rejuvenation Center Laser Therapy, and it was Teddy and Hector and Dylan.
I bit my tongue.
And we did see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. So I posted that, which is kind of funny. So I can't believe it's been a year since we were there. Pretty amazing how time flies so fast. It amazes me. I'm letting you swallow and catch your breath.
I bit my tongue.
You bit your tongue. I hate when I bite my lip.
That's what I did. Bit my lip.
Ugh. And then you know what happens? It gets swollen and then you do it again the next time you eat. It's so annoying, I know. But I've got some water there for you to wash it down with, so just give yourself a nice shot of water, thanks to Mama Raphael, and all will be good in about 2 seconds.
Ouch.
Ouch is all I can tell you. Happy Thursday. It has been a really, really busy morning. I can't even process the amount of things that are going on in my head. But please give us a call at 888-994-4995. We've got Dr. J joining us today. Actually, here's the funny thing I'm thinking about, because you don't even know who our guests are today.
We'll do not.
We've got Dr. J, the OG Dr. J, joining us for this hour. And then at 1 o'clock, we've got Dr. Stephanie J joining us. We're going to hear about her Women Empowerment website and her platform and everything that she's got going on. Comes to us.
So you have the double J's.
To a friend. I've got double Dr. J's today. Pretty amazing. I know, right? If only Dr. J were going to be on the Benny Blades 2-Minute Warning Show, but we've got some great other guests that are going to be on his show tonight.
Do you know who is going to be on Benny's show tonight?
I do.
Who are they?
Asante Samuels
Uh-huh.
and Tony Sands.
Now, Asante Samuels, do you know who Asante Samuels is?
He is big.
Oh,
in
he
football.
was? For the Philadelphia Eagles?
Huge, right?
He's huge.
He's
I saw the name and I went, whoa.
WWNN, so you can tune into that show tonight at 7:30.
That is huge.
It's an amazing opportunity what they got going.
It's a nice thing that they have going on there. I even forgot to share the show out. Listen, sharing is caring. Do me a favor. Share out the show if you're watching. And never eat a cookie
When you go on air?
when you go on air, because if you bite your lip, it hurts a whole
I
lot.
keep biting my lip in different places. I don't know what it is. I think there's so much stress out there. You eat, but I got to tell you, thank you to Teddy's mom and the chocolate company. I would like to find a chocolate company to work with, because I think there's no better way to combat stress than chocolate. Actually, we have a new bakery we're going to be working with, so we spoke with Neil yesterday, and I think he's going to be joining us maybe tomorrow or next week. A lot of great shows, a lot of new shows and new sponsors and new segments coming up for you. I wanted to ask you, there's a lot of authors that want to come on our show.
I need a plastic surgeon.
I got one of those for you, too.
I can see through my lip.
I got one for you. I'll hook you up. But I'm thinking that maybe we bring in maybe different crew, or people that are doing a book about law. Maybe we have an attorney interview them and we bring them in for a law segment. If it's a book about women empowerment, maybe we bring in one of our other hosts and do like a segment like we were talking about doing on the road, but now we can do it and let someone who's really in the know on that topic interview them and bring that forward as kind of like our voiceover connection or our legal corner or our weather segment, and really bring in different segments.
Well, you could do that by bringing people in.
That's what I'm thinking.
But you just have to queue it up. So, you say, and then this section of the show, we're going to talk about getting you prepared for the storm is about to hit. Let's say this storm, which we're going to have one this weekend, supposed to be bad weather starting tomorrow. But let's say it was a hurricane, and you slip it over to Linda, and then maybe you have voiceover man over here, and he'll be at Costco and look at the craziness going on there. Because, between that and the virus, there's a lot going on.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Even if we don't send anyone out, maybe we have them interview different ways for different members of our crew to interview and get engaged.
I like that.
So I was thinking about that because there's an author that contacted us. He wrote a book about discrimination, what it was like back in the 60s, right here in South Florida, and being an attorney. And I was thinking, you know what, maybe I have Aaron interview him as someone who's going into that field and see what that's like from a fresh perspective instead of you and I. Women's empowerment I can do all day long. But maybe if it were a baseball book, it goes to you. Or maybe if it's golf, it goes to Callaway.
It could be anything.
Different types of things like that.
And we don't always have to have live coverage. It could be taped in the way the news
That's what I'm
does.
thinking.
They have both. They do news and live, and they do video.
Edited segments.
And we could do the same thing. So if you want to
Do
be
you like
part of
that
the
idea?
family, I love that. It's what we've always wanted to do 5 years ago. We just didn't have the horses or the technology, but we have it now. It goes to show you that the
Ingenuity.
virus showed us a new way of doing things.
And also showed you that I know more than I say I do, right?
Well, that was the funniest thing. If you watched on today, I decided I had to take care of work that's been piling up for a week. A bunch of video clips and everything else. So I said, I got to do this. On top of that, I had to put Fuego out. So Dawn was doing public service announcements. You were doing some commercials with the kids and everything else. And I'm watching her, and she's hitting buttons and lowering the volume on this and that, because Teddy was coming in, which she's here now.
Slick Speaks at his show.
And I'm looking at her, and she has her mask on, which is bigger than her head.
I told you.
It's like glasses and a mask. That's all I saw. It looked like the Invisible Woman. But you were doing pretty good. I got to admit, you got it. So from now on, you can do all the production.
I went into one studio, you had the network up, and it was just easier just to move them to another studio than to change boards. But, when you got to do, you got to do.
Well,
It's like you got to learn every business. And this is what I learned 3.5 years ago when your mom
It took you
passed.
3.5 years?
No, but this is what I learned 2.5 years ago when your mom passed, is you have to learn your business as a business owner from the ground up. From literally, I was on the ground with Faith running wires that day to where we sit now and we look up at New Dawn Theater. But all because I don't do it doesn't mean I don't know how to do it. It may not be to your level or to Teddy's level, but I can get us by in a pinch if we have to.
I got no level.
But in any business, I think you need to know every aspect of your business in case something happens, in case you need to do it. And case in point.
And something happens every day. Every day something happens.
You know what really happens? Your fuse gets smaller every day. Like the littlest thing, boom, ignites you. What's up with that?
Ladies and gentlemen, I was doing a production in Spanish because I'm Latino. But my friend DJ Ortiz decides to talk at 4 million miles a second.
Yeah, he does.
And I have to pay attention to what he's saying. So this ear was on that board. She decides to take a phone call with a great guest, no problem.
I
Talking
kind of
to
wanted
Sosa.
you to be a part of it, but
That was in this ear. I had to find some video production that had to be sent to the radio station. That's in this ear. And then I missed the mark on this ear for the show. I missed the conversation in this. It's not a short fuse. I can't do 13 things at once.
you realize we are a full-service production
But
company.
not all at once.
It is all at once. It is a full-service production company. It is not just the Brooklyn Cafe show. We have other shows and other productions tonight. We've got Becky and Boca show.
I'm going to tell you, I'm getting it from all sides today.
You've
Yes.
got Ask the
Yes.
Expert show.
Yes.
You are running 2 production companies, not only AMP, we've got AMP Media Productions as well, plus our show that airs 3 hours a day. So
Yes.
you, my friend, have a reason for a short fuse.
No, I don't have a short fuse.
So keep eating chocolate, is all I say.
All I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the work out.
I
We're
would
trying
love
to
to
get
find a
things out.
chocolate company that we can work with, because there's no better way to combat stress than a piece of chocolate.
I think we should create our own chocolate corner of the company. A company that
I'm glad you said that.
And there it is.
I'm glad you said that. Where's Hector? Where's the animator?
He's behind
Animator, we have a bag of Nutrilicious nutritional yeast cheese product that we are going to cook with. And we have our baker with us. Teddy's a cook. Maybe I'll give them each like a cup to take home and come up with a recipe.
When are you going to come up with a recipe with a cup?
A cup of Nutrilicious.
And that's enough to make a...
Well, they might have to scale it down, but why not?
You're funny. Why don't we just pick a... First of all, the chef in the house happens to be the animator. He just sent me a video on how to make a pie, I think, or something.
12-minute, yes, instructional video on making a pie.
Making a pie. So I think he should be the one.
Okay,
If he doesn't burn it, we're good to go.
okay, you're good to go then.
Yeah.
Going to let Hector do a segment on Nutrilicious. Hector, you in?
He's doing video. He can't hear you.
I can't. Oh, he's got earphones on. Okay.
Everybody here is doing something.
It's good though. Everyone's working. Everyone's in production, and that is what it's all about, is to do this. But tonight we've got a great show lined up. We've got the 2-minute warning at 7:30 tonight on WWNN. Tune in as Benny Blades hosts Tony Sands and Asante Samuels live at 95.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and 1470 AM. It's going to be fantastic. Becky and Boca is interviewing Karen Turk, which again seems to be
I saw the video.
very, very hot in our community in Boca Raton. So tune in tonight at 7 o'clock for the Becky and Boca show.
I think that I'm going to be tuning into that one specifically.
As you should be.
That's a good show tonight. It's going to be fun. And, you know, Becky's rings from a different bell. But Karen Turk does as well. We
I was
call
going
her
to
the
say,
Turk.
Becky and Karen go way back. That's how we actually met Karen, I believe, is through Becky back in the day. So a long time, a long history, and to hear another side of the story, right?
Well, you know, I mean, I don't care what side of the story. We listen to...
But to hear hear what Karen has to say, I think it's good.
We like the production end of this thing.
100%. So we've got
Now,
today, Jay, yes?
I got some other things that I wanted to bring up. Part of the network of what we're going to be doing is the network itself is going to be self-quarantine, which
Self-contained?
I can't, self-contained, I can't believe I said that. Self-contained. We are going to be introducing a
I can't believe I
call-in.
know what you're thinking.
That's another scary thought. We're going to be bringing in a call-in line so that people can actually call into the productions that are going to be done in there. The team is actually putting together a network of commercials and everything else so that we will be playing the shows continuously. You like my Vanna White?
Yes.
And then the third piece of the leg is going to be ampitup.fm, our online radio station. We're going to be using that as well. Some of the kids in here want to be DJs of the day. So they're going to be spinning music, they're going to be talking all sorts of stuff on the air, giving promos and things like doing voiceovers, you know, now that we have the voiceover connection,
I know, which is great with Callaway.
which is really cool. And he gets better every day as we do this thing. And then we have B and everybody else, and they come full-fledged. And we're going to have them come in and out for a little while.
Let's get Callaway a mic, because people who don't know the voice, this is a voice that has never been in production.
Or he can't even hear you because he's wearing earphones.
Oh, is he? All right. So
He's
when
doing
he
his,
takes them
he's
off,
doing his piece.
he's editing his piece.
But we'll put him on.
But he's a voice that has never been in production before, and he came to us, which is why you never know when opportunity knocks, and you taught me this time over and over and over again. When opportunity knocks and you don't even see the opportunity, you do not even see the window opening for you, you have taught me to take it, even if you don't see it. It's like the deal that's here that's really here.
This is the
because
deal,
you never
yes.
know.
Yes, this is the real deal.
And this producer comes to us with no experience other than interest.
Well,
with
he was an engineer.
Enormous experience in the business world, engineering, but really wants to do production. And he has, boom, his voice is unbelievable.
Well, if you saw him doing his PSAs today, his shoulders are squaring up, and he's getting more confidence. And it's funny because when you're a coach and you watch the development of players, it is their body English that tells you how much they're advancing. Oh, yeah, hitting a ball, throwing a ball, that all counts, of course. If you could throw 100 miles an hour, it's better than 50. But you can see the body English, the way he's delivering, the way he's speaking, the eye movement, looking at the camera. And this kid in 3 days, 4 days, whatever he's been here, has shown something I haven't seen in quite some time.
Yeah. And you know, I've never heard that term either until you.
What term?
Body English.
Get out.
Swear to you.
You never heard of the word body English?
Never. I refer to it as body language. You must take language to English. And
Body English, when I was coaching in football, there's something called tendencies. A player has a tendency of moving to the left, moving to the right, of doing something when he reacts to seeing something else. Those are called body English.
never heard it until you.
And that's the way we used to break it down for our players to understand. Knuckles go white. I mean, you've seen the movie. When knuckles go white means he's coming. Knuckles stay red means he's going to back off. A lot of stuff. Your feet, if your right leg is in front of your left for a defender, you know you're going to run to the right because your stronger leg is always in front of you.
It's a lot of things to analyze, right?
A baseball player, you know, if you have a stronger eye, like, you know, one of your eyes is stronger than the
Yeah.
other, that eye should be in front. So if you have a stronger back eye, you have to switch to the other side of the plate.
When you look at me, does one eye go, one eye goes the other way?
I
Sometimes.
look at you, your head goes in one way and the other way.
That's kind of what was happening this morning, right? We had a million things. Slick walks in and he looks at me. I've got my glasses, my mask on. I'm on the machine. I've got another machine to my left that's playing the music in the speaker. I've got my computer in my lap and my phone in front of me. That was a sight because for me to be running 4 levels of technology at once, plus booking shows and sending out codes,
Yeah, I saw that you were booking shows where you were doing all this, and you didn't miss a mark
I
at all?
probably did, but
Well, that's hilarious.
who knows?
That's hilarious.
I don't think I did actually. I don't think I missed a mark, which is pretty
Impressive.
pretty unbelievable.
It's been a day of impressiveness.
But there's a lot to do. You know, people don't realize that when you are a home-based business and you come in virtually, maybe it's easier on your end. On a production end, it's a lot more work because we need to send them the codes, the links, the timing. I need to send all of that information to our producer because they're not here giving a card. So all of that stuff has to be done and positioned the right way because they're not just walking in and going, here's my card. So it takes it to a whole nother level of needing another assistant.
And 80% of the time, you've never met the other person on the other side of the interview.
No.
And you don't know their understanding of, do they understand how the technology works? You have to walk them through it. We did an interview yesterday with a young lady from England. Thank God that she has done film work in the past, but she's never used our system. So she called us back, and we're going to do something with her in the future as well. And we're going to call Monica in
We had a
England
lot of people to call.
to get some of that going as well. See, what's happening is 1,000 people want to run through the door at one time. And we've been talking to you for weeks. Get it up, start getting the things going. Don't wait till the very end because everybody's going to be pressing to go.
Right.
And that thing is coming now. More and more people are getting out
I
there.
have to tell you, as more and more people get out there, it does not mean, for me, I am not comfortable having people in here other than our crew. Because our crew, I can say, you guys are too close, move away. Oh, put on your mask. Oh, go wash your hands. Spray this down, take out the garbage. I know our crew, and they report, we know where they are. I am not comfortable, honestly, bringing in guests yet.
I think that you're going to have to get over that.
Maybe we had Carmen in, and she was 1, but I also know she's been quarantined for 8 weeks. We had, do we have anyone else in here? I don't even know. I think we
We
had,
had CBD in here.
we had CBD in here, but they sat over there, and we sat here, and that's probably 10 feet away.
Well, you know, the bottom line is when you come in, we ask the guests or whoever comes in through the door to wash their hands. That's the beginning of the beginning. We ask them to wear a mask, which the whole crew, including myself and Dawn, have been wearing masks today.
Yeah.
Simply because we don't know how many people, we don't anticipate how many people are going to come in, but everybody knows that if we haven't questioned who comes in, you put on your mask until we find out what the deal is with them, temperature and all this other stuff, and if it doesn't fit into the cube, then we ask them to leave and come back another day. No disrespect, it just is what it is. So you're going to have to sort of get yourself a little bit more and more accustomed to having people come back, because just like a radio station, this is a radio station. This is a TV
Yes,
station.
and they
it's
will be
built
coming in. And
by
I think as
people.
of June 1st, which is only 2 weeks away, we'll probably be back at the radio station.
Correct.
And then you and I will figure out how we're going to manipulate different shows at different sets and different times and all of those things.
Well, I like the aspect to give them an opportunity, the producers, the interns, to give them an opportunity of seeing different sites, going to the radio station and doing a piece. I have not been given the green light by Jody, and I respect that
Yeah.
until they tell me it's okay. But I was there last night, and I did a show, and I had to clean it before and after leaving. And they give you instructions on how to wash your hands. And you know, I got to admit, I learned something yesterday. Wet your hands first and then put the soap. Did you know that?
I'm thinking about it as you say it.
Because when you put the soap on dry, you always end up putting water on it and watering it down because it doesn't set up. My hands are so raw, it's unbelievable.
That's interesting.
But I learned that, and the studio at the station is going to be a small mock-up of what we have going on here. So we have some things over there we have to make sure are done. I'm trying to get Paramount over there as well so they can disinfect that when it's time. How are you, Valerie? But the object of the game here is that you want to feel safe. And it's not surprising that you feel a little bit wonky because you haven't done this in weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks.
And I really just want to protect everybody, including myself, especially you, of what we need to protect because you do have some pre-existing conditions. And we have some other producers that have some pre-existing
Well,
conditions.
the best way to protect the diabetic is to make sure you take care of your end of the deal. You wear your mask, you're protecting me.
But I don't know who else is coming in doing that. So.
I understand that, but that's why we have extra masks there. If they don't have one, we ask them to wear it. 99% of people have their own masks. Our main man over here forgot his the first
gave
time
him
he's
one?
there, so we gave him one. And it comes down to if you got it, wear it. Simple. Don't be afraid to wear it. It doesn't look foolish. It's all good. I know one of the hosts at the radio station says, I don't wear it, Freddie, because I look like an idiot. And I said, let me see. He put it on. I said, take it off. He took it off. I said, now you look like an idiot. Because he's not wearing it. That's the stupid thing on this thing. Protect yourself.
100% protect yourself. Protect those you love.
Now, I wanted to ask you a medical question again
Okay.
before we get our guests on the air. If I put soap on my hands and let it dry, nobody's ever answered the question. Isn't that better than gloves because it washes off? It can't penetrate the skin.
Neither do gloves. You got to take your gloves off the right way and
Right,
throw
but
them away.
if I put soap in my hands and let it dry, does it act as a glove?
Yeah. It acts as a barrier.
Yeah.
Not a glove, but it will act as a barrier.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
What are you protecting yourself from?
Instead of wearing gloves, which apparently is a problem because I put germs on the glove, I go like that.
It's going to be the same thing with glue or soap on your hands. Anything that your hands come into contact with, even if you put your hands in a paper bag, you touch it, same thing.
So it's the same difference.
Same difference. Which is why they're saying gloves are not necessarily as important as a mask. However, did you see there was a doctor that talked on NBC and all the ways to prevent contracting coronavirus? He went on a plane and guess what happened?
Got coronavirus.
He got coronavirus, and that was with gloves and a mask and washing his hands.
Now, did you see what they're doing now on planes? There's a movement to give people masks if you don't have one. They showed a plane that was packed, right? And they had no mask. So people were jumping off the plane saying, I'm not going on there. $6 or $7 million a day in refunds in the airline industry. And now it was mandated, no more credit. The court said you got to give people back their money if you're not going to provide safety. And they say every 2 to 4 minutes the air recirculates. You believe that?
It recirculates, but where are you getting the air from?
The atmosphere.
I don't know about that.
There's a compressor. I don't know where they're getting it from.
You're getting it from the airplane, so it might recirculate it and it might get filtered
But it
through,
gets
but
filtered.
it's still the air in the airplane. It's not
So it's
same as
can you get
inside
sick
your.
that way?
You get sick? Sure you can, which is why I want to change our air filter too. You know all those things I'm crazy about?
Yeah, but somebody has to handle that. Nobody wants to touch it.
Is what it is.
I will touch it if you give me a mask, a shield, gloves, put soap on my face, my hair, then and a mouthpiece, and I'll change the filter.
Actually, I saw there's a restaurant in town that has the Airbiotics
I saw that.
pumping through their system. Did you see that? I don't know
saw
where
that.
she went, but we do have that system also.
We have it here, but we don't have
We
it
don't have
hooked
any
up.
product to put it in, I know.
We got no
But
product.
we've got the machine, we just have to get the product from her.
I'm exhausted.
Let's go to commercial break. Let's check and see if we've got Dr. J on the line. Stay tuned, and we will be right back.
At Carmen Care Advanced Laser Therapy, our professional team specializes in finding the best alternative laser therapy treatments for your painful conditions. Do you suffer with chronic pain, a post-traumatic injury, or simply looking for the benefits of cell rejuvenation to the skin? Schedule a consultation today to understand how photobiomodulation can help reduce your symptoms, reduce or even eliminate pain. Give us a call today, 561-405-9577. We focus on treating you who has a disease, not a disease that defines who you are. Contact Carmen Care Laser Therapy today, 561-405-9577 or carmencarelaser.com.
As the coronavirus pandemic continues to run its course, Paramount Property Maintenance is offering the community a helping hand. Introducing the COVID-19 Action Disinfecting Plan, a one-of-a-kind procedure that will effectively clean and disinfect your business or place of residence. Paramount Property Maintenance has years of experience in dealing with biological contaminants, and their methods are proven to be more reliable and more extensive than any janitorial or cleaning service in South Florida. The COVID-19 Action Procedure features the use of hospital-grade disinfectant recommended by the CDC, as well as a highly trained sanitation team that will make sure every surface in the room receives proper treatment. Contact Paramount Property Maintenance today at 305-761-8191 to make your home or workplace COVID-19 free. Boca is officially open. Time to get back to business.
We have a lot of new shows for you to enjoy. From the original shows like The Brooklyn Cafe, Ask the Experts, Momentum Mindset, Tell Us Your Biz, Caregiver Solutions Info, and You and Your Doctor. We also have a lot of new shows like Teddy Unscripted, Slick Speaks, True to Yourself with Marnie, Fuego, and The Reinvented Life Show.
Staying home to keep everyone safe was what we had to do. But now it's time to get back to business. New challenges have brought on new platforms. One never knows what growth will look like.
Let's spread our wings and fly. Now is the time for you to bring your ideas to the forefront. Call us at 866-224-5422 or visit our website at brooklyncafe.tv.
Situation has slowed you down, but don't let it define you. Call us at 866-224-5422.
Hey everyone, this is Jeff, your branding specialist with Promo Stuff For You. So we're entering the new year. By now everybody has gotten their corporate gift, so this time of year generally is quiet with the exception of marketing departments trying to figure out what they're going to do for 2020. So it's really important that a company figures out and does proper planning throughout the year as to what type of marketing they want to do. At Promo Stuff For You, I love being able to sit down with a client and figuring exactly what they want to do, when they want to do it, and time it with the various events that they might have coming up.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back. You see all those promos?
Oh my gosh, I have to say, apparently today is Muhammad Ali's birthday, or Muhammad Ali's son's birthday. Dr. Khalila said, so Happy birthday. He is 48 today, and a lot of people commenting. So hello, everyone. Hello, Charlotte. Hello, Toasted Leaf. Hello, Mama Ali. We cannot wait to get you all back on joining us on the show. Mama Ali, we love you with all our hearts. So happy birthday to whomever's birthday it is today. Let's bring in Dr. J. We love Dr. J. We haven't seen her since we were quarantined. There she is.
Hi there.
Hi, honey. How you doing?
Good. Very good. It's
Do me a favor. Turn your phone sideways.
together. Oh, sideways.
This way we can see more of your beauty.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Look at that.
I got
Perfect.
it. How are you? Yeah, it's so nice to see both of you guys kind of together.
We are kind of together. We're, 6 feet apart, but we're kind of together. Look at this.
I was listening to the segment before, and I was thinking, are they bringing me on to do their marital counseling?
Which part of our segment? You should have seen this morning's.
I'm sorry I didn't. I was in session, but just your banter. You have this great banter, the two of you.
She's our virtual marital counselor, Freddie.
I need to book an appointment with your doc because I'm going to tell you, she's driving me insane.
He says to me, stop spinning around to the music. Go get to work.
Aww.
Look, he's holding his head. What is happening in your world, Dr. J?
So in my world, it's pretty much the same as what's been happening before. I'm still doing virtual sessions, all online, either WhatsApp video or FaceTime. People are still being cautious. I also find that there are some people that are not so cautious, and that kind of is alarming. I'm happy to see we're opening up some things, but I just want people to remember that we still do have a virus out there that's contagious. So why it's so difficult to just wear a mask is, I don't get.
Now, I wanted to ask you a question on that subject because, number one, you must be really busy because first it was the panic about being quarantined. Now there's the new panic about going back outside. So isn't that which is a worse scenario? Because, I mean, everybody's afraid to make a move now.
You know, you're so on point because my sessions this week have been about, I'm anxious about getting back to work or getting back to being productive. I kind of now got comfortable with where we were, and I'm anxious and panicked about having to open up and having to go out. And that's been like almost all my sessions this week. People very nervous about getting back to whether it's their job or
Slick, we can hear you.
figuring out how to be productive. So that's been a big anxiety for people because we had to adapt and adjust so quickly to the pandemic and the shutdown. Just when people started to get comfortable and get in the swing of things, now we hear that we're opening up. And again, there's still an unknown because we don't know what's next. We do know the virus and there's still not the vaccine yet. And I think there are a lot of people that are concerned about that too. Like, how much should we be going out? How much, should I go back into my building or not? I'm hearing a lot of people say, I think I'm more comfortable at home. I have a lot of people that have said to me, I think I'm just going to do an online business. Some accountants and lawyers I know, even some colleagues of mine that are thinking of not renewing their leases. There's a lot of change.
Well, she's catching up on her phone.
I know. And what's the first step for people who have been in quarantine for 8 weeks and they're afraid to go out? The panic attacks are setting in and they're enormous. It's not like it's a 2-minute panic attack or 20. It can be hours. It can be it can be the whole day until you actually sleep it off. What is your advice to getting people to get reacclimated into the world?
Well, the first thing, and I think it's the most important thing, is you don't have to do what everyone else does. You have to do what works for you. You have to do what your mind and body can take. Some people can do it in small doses. Some people can do it in larger doses. Most important, you have to behave according to what feels okay for you. I think people are getting more anxious and panicked because they're watching what others are doing.
It's interesting.
Okay, now I'm going to add another part of the panic because that's just part one. Part two, If you have children, all of a sudden there's a new bug out there. There's eating of kids, and they don't understand that, so that's the next one. And then I'm going to add another layer of panic, because then we got hurricane season coming. So you got that issue. On top of work, or being furloughed, or just unemployed, not being able to get unemployment insurance because their machines are not working. I mean, you're talking about a giant cluster on top of cluster. So how can anybody stay normal right now?
You're 100% correct. And it's usually in my office, I would get people for different presenting problems. And one of the most challenging ones is when people come in with complex trauma. And believe it or not, that's what we're experiencing. This is like trauma after trauma after trauma for people. This is the way a lot of people are perceiving this. It's a traumatic thing. Trauma is where you feel there's no escape from the situation. And a lot of people are going through that. I mean, one of the most major things, and I tell people, make somehow it a practice in your life now to incorporate meditation and breathing and being able to settle your body down. Only think of one thing at a time. Do not get flooded with, like you said, we have hurricane season coming up. There's financial stress. We still have a virus out there. When we start thinking of all those things at once, we're in trouble. There goes the panic and anxiety attack. So I'm telling people, slow down your mind. Take one thing at a time. What can you control? Do not focus on what you can't control. Focus on what you can control.
Focus on that which we can focus on. I was thinking about that this morning, thinking, God has a really funny sense of humor, because I know she's catching up her voice.
I know the voice in the order because she's using her phone, so it catches up.
So God has a funny sense of humor, because just as we come 8 weeks out of this, and hopefully 99% of us are all doing well, we go into hurricane season, right? We go into wearing masks. We go into all of these other new normals. I'm thinking that maybe you and I take headshots today in masks, because
yeah, we're going to be doing that,
right?
Well.
Because that is where we're at, and we have to send a message, as we have this entire time. I hope it has been a prudent message to say we are being as careful and cautious as everybody while continuing to do what we do.
Well, this is why I was going to ask Dr. J, because she's the official doctor of me. I was going to ask her, instead of panicking, because obviously that's not doing anything for me. It just brings my blood pressure up, and then I sit down and I don't do anything. So instead of panicking, I think what I want to do is I want to push through. I know that on the other side of that door is midnight. It's really dark and gloomy. I know this already. So the object of the game for me...
But it could be sunny.
Well, hold on. The object of the game for me is I got to find a way of sidestepping that which will push me down. So I'm going to, I have decided, I've made this whole decision by myself. I have decided that I am going to safely find another way of promoting and doing business and letting people know it's okay to be, it's okay to feel nervous.
Well, is it okay to be nervous? Is it okay to have fear?
Absolutely. 100%. If you're scared, don't listen to someone that tells you don't be scared, because it's your feeling. There are a lot of people that are scared, and there are some people that are not, and there's some people that don't take it seriously, and some people take it very seriously. Again, it's a very personal feeling and personal decisions we have to make right now. Promoting ourselves through online now, virtually, is wonderful. And hopefully it's going to allow some people to be more creative of how they can maybe make a business or make money or just do their meetings or connect with one another. We have to focus on the positives that this is giving us as well. We know all about the negatives, but we have to start identifying some positives or make it positive for us. What can we get out of this that can be helpful in our lives?
That's the object of the game. Is take what you got and do the best you can, but don't leave nothing on the table.
It's funny because I was saying, what have you learned from this? I said to you, what do you think people have learned, the positive things about you? What have you learned that's positive about yourself? What have other people learned about you? And it can be a positive takeaway from all of this. What changes?
Well, you want to be able to walk away with something saying you're going to go from A to B and from B to C. And if you hang around enough people, they are going to tell you, oh, don't go out, be afraid. And I get it. I completely understand it. And with all due respect, I'm going to tap my hat and I'm going to say, listen, me the diabetic, I'm going to watch where I walk. I got my mask. I got a number of masks everywhere. I got masks in my cars and everything else. That doesn't mean I'm not going to get sick. You know, and the problem is that either I'm going to get sick or I'm going to vanish. And I'm not going to play afraid to win. I'm not going to do that. I can't do that anymore. I can't play this game afraid not to succeed. I'm going to succeed. I've decided I'm going to change my mindset and I'm going to go. And I'm going to make sure I take as many as I can with me so they understand you got to do it safely. We had a meeting outside. Meet outside. Open it up. Okay? Don't open that door because it gets hot in here. But open it up because I already know that behind the other door, here comes the storms. Here comes the hurricanes. Here comes the bad weather. And you want to open up the schools to send to kids, you're going to have a lot of people in trouble. I mean, you just got to take what's coming.
I want to take Dr. J's advice because if and when schools open, it's not going to be into the fall. Right now we're in May, right? So I kind of feel we can put that aside. And we have to deal with today. Hurricane season is in June. It's 2 weeks. Is it now? Yes. Is it this moment? No.
You got 2 weeks.
You got 2 weeks. But today is today. And there are people between now and the next 2 weeks. In my opinion, I feel the longer people stay home, in their home, and don't go anywhere, the more fear there's going to be.
That's true. It gets more difficult. The more accustomed we are to staying in and being afraid, the harder it is to get out there and to push yourself. There's nothing wrong with going out there. Just be smart. Just take all the precautions to protect yourself and your loved ones when you go out. Be respectful of someone else. If it's, the thing is we can wear masks. I mean, there's so many different controversies about that. I, for one, believe it's a good thing to wear a mask. I know when I speak, I know when I do sessions, I've had some of my patients, I felt the spit on my cheek. So if that was happening before the virus, I certainly don't want it to happen now. So we're going to wear masks. Get a mask that's comfortable for yourself. Go to the grocery stores. Go to certain places that are open and just be responsible. Try to be back into the world the best you can with these changes that have been made. Don't get overwhelmed by what you see. I have a patient that went for lunch the other day. A restaurant was open in Delray. He said, yeah, it was good. I kind of felt happy to be out and be in a restaurant again, but I was overwhelmed and I felt panicked by seeing the waitress wear a mask and seeing all the tables apart. You know, we just take it as it comes and we adapt and adjust. We're not giving ourselves enough credit. We can adapt and adjust. We've been very sheltered. Look at the way other countries live. If we can just say, listen, we're tough and we're resilient and we're flexible, and you got to keep telling yourself that, and you can adapt and adjust to just about anything.
My word for this whole pandemic is resilience. If I had to come up with words, and I would love to do this word game. I know it's not so much your thing, right, your body English, but the words that come to mind when you got through this, because of 2 months ago, when you told me 2 months ago to get enough food for 2 weeks, I freaked out on you, right? I said, no,
I should have told you 2 months.
If you had told me 2 months, you probably would have found me on the floor, right? But little by little, we've now gone through this for 2 months. And I want people to look back on these 2 months and say, I did this. We got through it. Somehow, some way, by the grace of God, whatever you believe in, you got through it.
Well, what if I tell you, for the next 2 years, you're going to have to live some form of what you're doing now?
I think for many more than 2 years, I think
well, that's another story.
Maybe people will learn to be a little more cleanly. Maybe we'll wash our hands a little bit more. Maybe we'll be more cognizant of those that are around us. A little more personal hygiene goes a long way. The mask, maybe that becomes the new norm. Gloves, I'm not so sure because, again, you touch it, you touch your face, you got to wash your hands. Other than the fact that you can take them off, people don't know how to take them off the right way.
That's why I tell you, put soap in your hands.
But I want people to maybe, Dr. J, look at the positives of what they've achieved these past 2 months and give yourself a pat on the back and go, you know what? I did this. Now let's keep going. Instead of, oh my gosh, can you believe what happened? I blame this and I blame that.
I know.
Let's look at it another way, that we got through it.
I know. The history of, they got a new thing, the history of.
Well, it's a good thing kids aren't in school to read the history books, right?
But why in the world well, this is going to be part of history, but why would I want to go down memory lane as to the history of? What difference does it make? It's here. Deal with the problem that's here.
Dr. J, what are the different medical societies and the different people saying, the different groups, the theys, of how to get reacclimated?
Well, you know, one of the things like you and Freddie are just saying right there is you have to move forward. Don't live in the past. Don't live in the first day we heard about this. Move forward. We're not there. And I bet if everyone rated their anxiety level from day one or week one of hearing about this versus now, it would be much lower versus higher. Again, people need to identify and notice how strong you are and how resilient you are and how much you can take and how you can adapt and adjust to change. I mean, if you just look at it as change and move forward, we can actually thrive. You know, this is just about protection. And like you said, you know what, maybe this is going to allow us to have better hygiene and better respect for personal space. I mean, if we look at it in a positive way, again, we can thrive as a society rather than being stuck in it and fearful.
I think that's the best advice,
You know,
is we can thrive.
I have a vision that she's talking where you get people who want to bring their workers back, and they're afraid to come into that environment. So you space them out in a room, a big room, auditorium, whatever, and you have Dr. J there, and you start doing these sessions with people, like AA and everything else. They go to sessions, they go to classes, right? And they sort of relate to one another how my fear, though it doesn't impact your life, it does. Because I'm working in that building with you or in that office with you, and for me to be at my best, to be able to perform my duties for you or for my employee, I got to be here. So I can imagine her sitting in front of people and doing sessions. I'm even thinking about the kids in here. When they come in here, are they panic-stricken? And you know something? Everybody's going to tell you, I'm okay. You got to look at the eyes. You got to look at the body English. You got to look at how they walk and talk. Are they really okay? And if they're not okay, you got to sort of extend that extra hand and say, listen, let's talk about this. Let's get this out of the way.
And very importantly, to tell people it is okay to not be okay right now. It is okay to have moments where you're doing great and then say, oh, gee, now I feel awful again. Why? Because it's normal. We're all going to feel that out of nowhere. I mean, this is going to create some post-traumatic stress for those sometimes worse than others. We've all went through it in some way and on different levels of it. But now it matters how you want to come out of it. Now it matters saying, okay, how do I move forward? Now things are changing a little bit for the better. How do I move forward with that? Everyone needs to be focusing on the glass being half full, not half empty. Take precautions. Do your best to make sure that you're safe and respect of others. You know, this is a good time for people to practice something in their daily lives of self-help. Like, what do? Do you meditate? Do you take baths? What are the affirmations that you give yourself daily? For me, it brought up a whole new set of practice of affirmations that I say with my son in the morning and at night in a positive way to feel safe and to feel grounded. It's very important for people to learn that and incorporate it.
I want to ask you, you've got, was he 12, your son?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What's it like having this preteen at home who's no school, quarantined? What's that been like for him?
So fortunately, his school, he goes to Donna Klein, and they have been allowing them to do, they've been providing from 8:30 to 2:30. He does Zoom through school, so he goes to every class. So they've actually kept it as normal as possible for these kids to go to his English and his science and his math. He goes to every class Monday through Friday, and I think that's been a huge help. However, we have neighbors and friends that go to public school, and it was more like they give them assignments and they expect them to do the work. And we see a lot of kids in our neighborhood just out riding their bikes kids more now than ever have not been so much on the electronics. I've seen a lot of children want to run and ride their bikes and do actually physical activity because their bodies need to move. Same thing with adults. Our bodies need to move. People that are staying in and not moving, not a good thing. But especially for children, they need to move. They need to be stimulated. Unfortunately, for some kids, they don't have the structure or discipline in the school, and I hear terrible stories from parents going crazy. I was fortunate that my son's school is actually keeping them in their classes from 8:30 to 2:30 daily.
It's interesting. And that's what's happening. It's a lot happening. I mean, I find when I go home, I was never a runner. I would go to the gym and I would do weights. I go home and I get on my treadmill and I run probably 5 out of 7 nights a week, which is something I never did. Even sometimes you'll say to me, just stop, go get on the treadmill and go run for 30 minutes. And I think people have to get up and get moving. And you and I are still working, but your mind is like 20 million places more than it ever was before.
And it's true. And like Dr. J is you're probably bombarded with people calling you. We're getting messages and phone calls from everybody, which we love. And the work to get those messages out there. People have things to say. There isn't enough time in the day to get everything done. Last night, I fell asleep on my computer trying to get the stuff done, trying to get the videos out, trying to get the messages out, the PSAs and everything else. And on top of all that, now we're gonna escalate to another level to get it done. But I'm beginning to think in my world, work sort of preoccupies my mind. It's sort of, and I know what's out there. Yeah, I can sense it. I see it. I smell it. I live with it. But I want to get the word out. I want to get people like Dr. J involved in people's lives so people can call. And there is a safety valve, you know, with all that pressure in the house. And I know what they're going through.
Actually, I want to talk to Dr. J. We have a new show that started Tuesday nights at 8:30. It's Peace, Love, Marnie. It's Be True to Yourself with Marnie Goldman. 8:30 at night on WWNN, right? You would think it's nobody's listening to the radio. And she talks mostly about mental health. She cannot answer enough phone calls, and she is not a psychologist. This is just her personal journey. She can't even answer all the phone calls. Freddie said she left 5 phone calls on the board Tuesday night. It's a brand new show. It's only her 2nd week. People are yearning for help and for someone to understand the mental health component, because you can say, I'm having an asthmatic attack, I've got a stomach ache, I stubbed my toe, I bit my lip, that's okay. But when you actually talk about the mental health of what this is, people need someone to turn to. And I think of you again and again because you are Dr. J. Marnie is fantastic. And she always says, I am not a doctor, I am not trained in this, this is just my experience, but people are looking for answers.
You're absolutely right. I was doing some free Zoom meditations to help people, and then I stopped because I was doing my regular sessions, and it got really busy for me. But people have been asking me more and more, would you do anything like on video, like if we don't come into your office, is there anything you can do in a group format? And I definitely will be doing something. So people, like you said, can feel settled, can feel more relaxed, can be educated, to feel supported during this time, along with whatever other things they have. There are people that I even treat that have cancer, and they have cancer now, they have the pandemic on top of them. I have people that couldn't do procedures that maybe weren't, for a terminal illness, but they were kind of necessary, but they were pushed back and they were nervous about that too. So people definitely need to be helped with being supported and guided and educated, and be able to call in or see someone and say, how can you help me? So you're 100% right. And I'm going to listen in. I didn't know you had that show, but I'm definitely looking forward to hearing it or seeing it.
And she's an author, and her life has been traumatic at best, and she tells it well. But there's nobody that's doing what Dr. J is doing. And I think you're right. I think that people want to know that they're not alone. They're not, quote unquote, crazy. There are other people that feel like they feel, and there's help, and this is normal. Because I think the worst thing is for you to be in this space of being alone and saying, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? Why is the rest of the world okay and I can't get off my couch? But this is the normal.
Well, the other thing is that among, how do I put this? Among Latino men, I'm going to talk for myself. Sometimes, you know, you want to be the breadwinner. You want to be dad. You want to be the king of the jungle. And all of a sudden you're out of work. Your kids are home. You're fighting with your wife because you're not making ends meet. You can't get on unemployment. You can't. There's more you can't in your life than ever before. And the bottom line here is that you got to man up and say, you know something, I can only control that I can control. Or they got to find some help, and it's really difficult. And again, I'm talking for myself. It would be very difficult for me to admit that maybe I'm going to need some help. I saw CBS put a commercial together. It was a minute long about people who never asked for help, that would never ask for help. And they came in and says, I would never ask for help, I'm asking for help. And all of a sudden the culture is changing because it's okay to ask for help. I think that we have to overcome our own burdens,
Our own stigmas, yeah.
our own stigmas that we have created in our own minds, that people have taught us growing up. Like my uncles used to tell me, men don't cry. That isn't true. Men cry. That's why God gave us tears too. And I think there's so much right now that we can learn about what's going on around us. Okay, and people like you can help us overcome those gaps, because everybody has a gap. Everybody has a gap. I don't care who you are, including Trump down to the janitor.
But I want everyone to feel that it's okay to feel what you feel.
You know, that's so true. And I tell people that have a hard time coming in to see me that anxiety does not discriminate. Depression does not discriminate. Loneliness does not discriminate. It doesn't matter, male, female, old, young, it doesn't matter. We're human, and we're all open to experience these emotions, good or bad. So when you're in help, and I do check-ins, I try and send stuff on Facebook, like tell others how you're doing. Don't be quiet now. Tell others what you need. There are a lot of people out there want to help. I'm one of them. So if you can't, you know, let's say afford fees, if I don't take your insurance, try anyway, because I'll figure something out so you're not left alone. So reach out to people. Let us know if you need help. We're here.
She's always the best. And I have to say, Dr. J, he sat down an hour ago and was like, "Rawr!" But you put this sense of peace over us. Like she can put you at peace through a video, which is pretty remarkable that she can do that.
It was true. And you know,
I'm watching this whole
but
shift
it's
in
been
you
that
as I
kind of
can
week.
see you breathe again.
Well, it's been that kind of week, you know. There isn't enough time in the day to do everything that I got to get done. And there are people around me that I'm responsible for. There are things going on in Puerto Rico. All of a sudden, the gamut has opened and they're watching us there, and people are sending me messages from there. Everybody wants to feel a little sense of hope. So today, there isn't enough time. It isn't that I'm drowning.
But she stops you for a moment to breathe.
Because you know something? There's always a ray of sunshine.
Always.
If you look up and look hard enough, you'll find it.
Always.
And you take that deep breath and you brush it off, man, and we go again. And here we go. There's a fourth quarter. You ever seen when guys hold four fingers?
It's all about
It's the
you.
fourth quarter. Stop it. Fourth quarter, you got to wipe it off. You got to get that sweat, that blood off of you, and you got to go again. And you got to go again. And when you're tired, you take a deep breath and you go again. So watching you gives me a sense it's going to be okay.
Always.
It's going to be okay. We just got to keep the good fight going.
Dr. J, we love you.
Oh, I love you guys so much. Thank you for having me. I enjoy being with you guys so much.
More to come. I'd love to get her do a 30-minute show on the network.
I think we should put her on the network,
with the
yes.
phone line, and it's going to blow
Oh,
up
yeah,
because
the
people
network.
need what you do.
I would
Yeah.
love it. You
And
just let
there's
me know
not
and
enough
I'll
of
be
you, as they say, we need more of.
Aw, thank
More
you
to come
so
with
much.
Dr. J, Dr. Lemansky. You can find her in Boca Raton. You can let us know, and we can help get you in touch with her. Let's go to commercial break before we switch over to our 1 o'clock hour. We've got our world-famous photographer.
I know. She's in the house.
Dr. J, we love you. Thank you.
Thank
We're going to go to
you.
commercial
Bye-bye,
break,
guys.
switch over to our 1 o'clock hour, thank our sponsors, and we will be right back.
Pizza District is the official pizzeria of the Brooklyn Cafe Show. They have amazing deals, great food, and an even better customer connection. Their owner, Nico, runs the friendliest and cleanest pizzeria for miles around. With their pizza made with whole wheat, gluten-free, cauliflower crust, and traditional New York style, you can't go wrong. Plus all the extras like salad and chicken wings. They are a family-run business with a great atmosphere. Call today to order your pizza and tell them the Brooklyn Cafe sent you at 561-961-4163. That's 561-961-4163 for Pizza District, the official pizzeria of the Brooklyn Cafe Show.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would listen. It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power, a platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions, a voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have a platform you deserve to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 55312. That's CAFE to 55312. Or call us at 866-224-5422. Your voice can make a difference.
Sexy, seductive, and beautiful. Looking for a professional and talented photographer? Danielle Boujon specializes in capturing flirtatious and tasteful images for yourself or your partner. Located in South Florida, Danielle really knows how to bring out your inner beauty on a shoot. Visit her website at www.daniellebuljan.com or call her at 561-305-2241 to capture your most desirable moments.
Hey folks, this is Callaway here from Callaway's Corner, reminding you all that, like the late great Robert Marley said, every little thing is going to be alright. Alright guys, we gotta stay safe, we gotta stay active, but more importantly, we need to stay alert. This thing's not over yet, but better times are ahead of us, and we're gonna get through this together.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back.
And we're
How you
back.
like that public service announcement?
I liked it a lot.
Pretty cool, right? This kid, you would think he's been here for 400 years.
You would think he actually knew what he was doing.
I don't even know what the hell he's doing.
But he knows what he's doing. He did a great job. Not only did we record that this morning between our shows, he edited it.
What did we record? We recorded like not even an hour ago.
We recorded it this morning, but there were 4 pieces I sent him, and he edited the pieces together.
I know, you put it together. We got a few
Nice job, right?
interesting pieces coming. Absolutely.
That was Dr. J joining us on the last hour. I definitely want to put 30 minutes together with her because it is so well needed, and I can't thank her enough because I actually see you with almost a smile on your face. It's been a while.
But guess who's in the studio?
Danielle Boujon.
I know. And this is the lady when we went to the BB&T Center, and all the police were after her and told her, do not stand on the furniture, lady, when you take pictures. And as soon as they turned it back, she was not only on the chairs and the table, she was on the bar and taking pictures all over.
The most incredible photographer. We have got Danielle Boujon in here. She's going to be doing some headshots of our crew.
Danielle, say
6
hi to
feet
the
apart.
camera.
Hi.
Sit back and relax.
Okay. Thank you.
Talk to Valerie.
Well, thanks for having me again. I miss you guys so much. So I'm glad to be back here.
How have you been doing?
Well, for 2 months it was very quiet. And now I'm back in business again. I have some photo shoot lineup. Yeah.
Which I think is great. And I wondered why. I've seen some photographers working outside and doing some from like driveway shoots. I never understand why people stop doing this, because if you were home and you were quarantined with the people you were quarantined with, then why not have your photographer come out. I've seen a lot of photography being done at people's doorways. So their door is their backdrop, which is kind of cool. Danielle, I've seen you do some things outside amongst the trees, which is beautiful.
Yeah, like with the new situation now, I think people were told to be at home, so that's why everything went very quiet. But for us photographer, it's not that bad because we had to be a certain distance from our clients, so we are inside the guidelines.
Now, I'm going to tell you something. I've seen some of your photography work.
Thank
And you got to the Bahamas. You've gone all over the world.
I'm a
from what
little
I saw.
intimidated, by the way, because she works with the most gorgeous
Oh
models.
my God! It's like she hatches them out of some egg.
I think I want to go
They keep
hide in
getting
an
better and
egg.
better.
I know.
If you ever need an assistant, listen. I can carry a camera. I mean, I can put that umbrella over people so there's a shade. Whatever you need, let me know. But it is amazing some of the work you do. I saw a set that you did with a woman who was pregnant, because you do this thing with pregnant women. And I said, my goodness gracious, this is unbelievable. This woman was, she had a baby inside her, and it was like a very seductive photo shoot she did. And so she posted some of the pictures on there. I said, you got to really be an artist because you bring out the best in people.
Yes, thank you. I guess it's my bless, my gift.
And her editing is amazing. You know who I think is one of the most beautiful pregnant women is your daughter-in-law.
Valerie.
She's beautiful, and when she's pregnant, she glows. There's something about her. And I guess since I've known her, she's been pregnant a long time, right? She's been pregnant twice in the 3 years I've known you.
She's been pregnant for 2 years, as you know.
But of the 4 years, right? She's beautiful.
She actually, when she gave birth to Rowan was in because Rowan had some
Right, he
stuff.
was in the NICU.
So he was so she was there, and I walk in and she has makeup on, like if she was doing a photo shoot. The hair was done.
Didn't she do a photo shoot to have him?
She would not have the baby unless she had makeup, photo shoot style. So I was thinking about just a man. She looks ready to have a shoot, and she was like this, but she looked fantastic.
But you're right. Danielle does beautiful photography on women that are pregnant.
Yes, that's one of your fortes, and she does it for regular people as well. I've noticed more males now also. You have some males in some of the pictures that you did?
I would say it's like 15% of my clients, it's male.
Which I thought was kind of different.
Yeah.
Most of your work you do in Miami or South Florida?
I go all over the world.
You do? Okay, that I know.
Yeah, my last big job out of the state was in Europe. I went for 5 days for shooting 150 doctors.
Wow.
150 doctors?
For 5 days, yeah.
That must have been interesting.
Was exhausted.
Yeah, but it's interesting because I know that when we first met Danielle, we were talking about the quickest way of enhancing your business is to get the right shot. You have this, you have that. It's to get the right shot. They pay millions of dollars on Sports Illustrated for a catch that a receiver did for the Steelers in the end zone. And the reason that he got that picture was because the guy fell on him. And right before he fell on him, he captured the shot. And he got like $1 million for this picture. So it's getting the right shot can make the difference on your business one way or the other. Sometimes it's just that certain look, and it makes it appealing. And there are other people that take pictures and you just drive by or you don't pay attention to it. But there's an art form to what you do. And you see, this is why I think you're so special, because when you have pregnant women who are hormonal, whatever you call it,
You always had an extra syllable to that
well,
word.
whatever it is. But people,
Add an E to that
but
one.
it's not easy to take a picture of a regular woman, much less one who's pregnant, right? And to capture, how do you overcome all that anxiety, and I want to kill somebody, I want this baby out of me already? How do you capture their soft side? How do you capture their good looks? You got to be an artist.
I think it's first is a connection that I have to build with the clients. And most of pregnants, they don't feel like beautiful as we see them. And since they get to my studio and I do the makeup, I do the hair, they start feeling like they are rock stars. And then that's how I think it's easy to capture the great shot, which we call the money shot.
She makes everyone feel beautiful. She brings out the essence of who you are. The money shot. Remember last time I told you that you're like, you can't say that? But Danielle can say it. It's okay.
Sorry.
You never said that. But we're talking about elevating business and people that are now growing their business on social media. You need the right headshot. Whatever it is to capture where you are now. It doesn't mean where you were 2 years ago. It doesn't mean where you are. I look at our pictures from 6 months ago. A lot has changed for us from Thanksgiving when she did those Thanksgiving Christmas shots to where we are now. So I'm excited that she's here now to capture the time. And you know what? Maybe it's slick like he is right now with his mask and his hat. That's the essence of where we are right now in that timing. And Danielle can do it from 6 feet away, from 10 feet away.
Yeah, I'm not doing right now the makeup and hair because this is not a guideline in the moment.
Right.
But in the future, I will go back to do those.
So, you take your makeup, do the best you can, or no makeup. I think a lot of people are going the no makeup look. Someone said to me the other day they haven't worn lipstick in 3 months. I get that too, because you should see what my white mask looks like.
Yeah, but I remember seeing Faith Washington. She says, "Oh, I love it. I don't have to do my hair."
She took her nails off. No
She
pedicure,
says,
no
and the
nothing.
women don't want to shave nothing like that. I mean, what the hell's going on here?
Everyone, you got to do what works for you. But if you know what, if that's the essence of where you are, and you want to capture that, then capture it. Because you know what, like we said with Dr. J, capture the memory of where you are now, and relish in the fact that you overcame it, and we got through it, and this is how you feel right now.
Okay, so
I'm not saying I'm doing that.
So that means that Dawn is going to take all her makeup off.
No, I don't do that,
She's
but
gonna
some people do.
But this is what I'm saying.
But I think everyone should capture what they choose to capture in them. I have not stopped wearing makeup. I have not stopped shaving. I have not stopped coloring my hair. I even learned to do my own nails and color my own hair during all this. And run. I learned a lot of things over the past 2 months. I learned production. I learned my own self-care. There are people that say, you know what? I don't want it anymore. You know what? Kudos to you, but relish in that.
I believe you should get up and...
Be you.
No, get up and be you, but you should get up and do what you normally would do if you're going to work. I think you should shave. I think you should take a shower.
Well, yeah.
Water, don't be allergic to water. Use that soap. Use that shampoo. Make yourself look presentable.
Yes.
And if you stay in the good habits, you know something about bad habits, right? They sort of creep up on you.
And they stick around.
And they don't go away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you ain't showered in a while and you're a little what they call prime, time to take a shower. Don't go into that bad habit. You got to get it going. And if you're going to do a photo shoot, you ain't going to show. That's what we should do. We should do the everyday photo shoot now. No shower for a week, no shaving, no nothing.
You got to shower.
And show the before and the after, the beauty and the beast.
You got to shower.
You gotta
You don't have to shave, but you got to at least shower. and
You
be
got to
clean.
shave. You got to shower. Don't grow that beard. I'm talking to the women.
You know
now.
what else I think
talking
I've
to the
seen
women now. Talking
for
to the women.
photography? Family shots. A lot
She
of
didn't
people,
say nothing.
Well, no,
Did
I'm
you?
going to talk to
Look at
Danielle.
right on her head. I'm talking to the women. Shave. You don't need a beard.
Because we have another caller on the line. I want to get to them also.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of family shots, Danielle. The people now that they're home with their families, even grown children who have come home, to take those pictures with a photographer and say, you know what, I'm going to capture that memory also. Danielle can do that as well.
She could do. Listen, if you're a business and you're ready to open the doors and you want to bring your people back, we're giving you all the secrets today. You got Dr. J, you got a photographer. Make your worker feel good. Jeez Louise, they just came out into the worst time of their life. Give them a little something back. Take a picture, do a photo set, do a headshot. Make the employees wall, which is, I just talked to the radio station, and I want to do a wall of hosts and things of that
Talk
nature.
about that.
Why not? A little kudos. She's going to help you make you feel better. Isn't that what we should be? We should be feeling better. We've been through hell and back. And still more hell left. How's that? Still more hell left. A little bit of better. That's all I'm asking for.
Danielle, how do people reach you?
They can reach me on my cell phone, 561-305-2241.
And Danielle
And thank you.
Bouljon Photography. And you know what? I can't wait to see some of the headshots that she's going to take. She's got some ideas for a backdrop. And yes, we have, just to alleviate any concerns that anyone has, because I know they've been writing in, we have 1,000 square feet that you and I are sitting in right on this side of the studio. There's another 1,000 on the other side. So we are very far away. Even if we just use the garage as a backdrop, I don't even know, that's probably 50 feet away from us. So we are far more than 6 feet away. So we are being very cautious, and we are totally walking the walk as we talk the talk, to be careful. Our crew has masks on. Our crew is washing their hands, and they are not within our 7 feet, not even close.
No, and it's all about the precaution, taking precaution. Everybody has masks on. Everybody knows the drill.
And I think we need to commemorate that and take those pictures.
Well, we are. We got a few ideas that we're kicking around too. 2020. We are all in this together, which is kind of cool. And all the kids are going to be wearing their mask, and they're going to come in on a Zoom type deal. We got all sorts of ideas cooking. So you just hang tough. And if you want to join us, just to do segments or anything else, like Linda's going to be doing the weather segment. You want to do segments with us? Just let us know. There's plenty of room at our table for the family. Come on.
I want to work on that, actually. I'm going to call Jay now that you mentioned that also.
Yeah, why not?
Give us a call at 888-994-4995. We're going to take a commercial break, and we come back. We've got Dr. Stephanie Jay joining us. Can't wait to take a look at her Women's Empowerment website. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Sexy, seductive, and beautiful. Looking for a professional and talented photographer? Danielle Boujon specializes in capturing flirtatious and tasteful images for yourself or your partner. Located in South Florida, Danielle really knows how to bring out your inner beauty on a shoot. Visit her website at www.daniellebuljan.com or call her at 561-305-2241 to capture your most desirable moments.
Healing Moments Wellness Boutique specializes in integrating scientific and ancient therapies to relieve physical, emotional, and psychological distress. Through the power of touch, coaching, and meditation, clients experience pain relief, relaxation, healing, and detoxification. Contact Healing Moments Wellness Boutique at 561-931-2187 and experience Boca Raton's Healing Haven. Enjoy the benefits of an individualized treatment plan to help find your feelings of peace, complete balance, and wellness. Call Healing Moments today, 561-931-2187, and be rejuvenated.
We are on fire, so let's spread your business like fire. Spotlight your business, ideas, and events through our Brooklyn Cafe TV channel on Amazon Fire. Contact us today at 866-224-5422 for more information. Let the whole town, even the whole country, know your message with the click of a button. Together, we ignite.
Hey guys, it's Slick. I know, time to roll over and time to get up. We have to be cautious in this pandemic, and it's okay. It's okay to take your time. But until next time, you can see me here, Slick, every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10:30. And until next time, wash your hands and take a shower.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
I love the way Steve goes, Dawn. You get the Dawn. I get the Freddie.
And Freddie S.
No, they don't go Freddie S.
Just linger.
They go Freddie S. You get Dawn. Dawn. Yes, and I'm getting a lot of texts coming in now, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't mean any offense by women. Listen, you can keep your beards, not a problem. We love you no matter what you
Teddy,
got.
he's equally offensive to everybody.
No matter what you got, don't worry about
All
it.
the white stripe and the flag.
We will even brush a little, what's that for the gray? When you have a gray beard and they put that,
Yeah.
not Rogaine, I forgot, what do they call that? What?
No, when the coloring on for your beard.
Yeah, for the coloring.
Yeah.
We love you so much that we even color your grays.
Do you have
on your beard.
when your beard grows? Is it gray?
I don't know. I don't let it grow. I
was
can't
wondering.
stand. I can't stand facial hair.
I'm not a big fan of it either.
I can't. I hate it because I go like this. And, no.
I'm just wondering if you have you ever had a beard or a mustache? You
Yes.
did have a mustache. I saw
I
some
had a
pictures when your
mustache
kids
and I
were
had
younger.
a beard one time.
I bet it's gray. You think?
It made me look like I was 99. I look like 98 now. With a beard, look 99. So I said, not shaving this stupid
I think
thing.
it ages people. I don't know. My mother finds it very sexy in men. I'm not a big
I'll get a fake beard. How's that? To
My
see
mother
how I
will
look
love
like.
it.
A fake beard.
for my mother.
I can do that? Thank you. Thank you. That will be slick in the background. I can do that, he says. I can do that.
You can do that.
I can do that.
I'm excited because, you know, I can't even think about this morning, let alone the past 2 months. I have to stay in today, in the moment, because if I actually think about the amount that we do and get done in a day, it is pretty overwhelming.
The amount that we do done in a day. Wow, that's a tongue twister.
Right? And there's more to do. And this morning, we had a call with a new friend, Elisa, and we spoke to her, and she has a client, Dr. Stephanie J., and she's got a Women Empowerment's website. And I said, you know what? Let's bring her on. She is in Philadelphia, I believe, outside of Philly in Pennsylvania. And sure enough, because people are quarantined, they are available to promote and grow their business. So we're going to bring Dr. Stephanie on. We had 2 Dr. J's on today. And talk to her about her website. Teddy, do we have her on?
I think she's on the audio, no?
Yeah. And there she is now.
Oh, there she is. How are you?
Oh, I am so blessed. How are you? It's a pleasure.
Good morning. Good afternoon, I guess. It's good to see you. Teddy, can you turn up her speaker, please?
Now, you're going to have to bring me up to speed on this segment because as I was doing a production, I think she was the one on the phone, right?
No, I haven't spoken to her yet. Her publicist is who I spoke with.
Oh, I see. Okay, good. That's good.
We spoke with her publicist. Tell us a little bit about you and your websites and your platform.
Well, my name is Dr. Stephanie J. I'm known as the Hustle Mama, and our entire platform supports women entrepreneurs who hustle. They help unite, share, teach, lead, and empower their families, their communities, and the world. And so we're all about supporting initiatives that would not only empower women to be better themselves, but to be self-healthy so they can make an impact upon communities. And that's how we change families across the globe.
And how do we do that? How did the Hustle Mama, you got to love that.
The Hustle Mama, where have you been the last 4 years?
Well, I've been hustling for the last 12 years.
Oh, there
And
you
how
go.
we do that is really by being kind to ourselves and loving ourselves and understanding that all of the gifts that God has given us have already been implanted in us. And all we have to do is sow those seeds. And when things come that disrupt us and disrupt the vision, we are more than conquerors. We can accomplish anything. You have to think of it in terms of farming. You know, sometimes we plant seeds and the harvest is great. The next go round, sometimes we have weather issues, we have crop issues, and it's the same in life. So what I try to do is teach women that if we move with the ebb and flow of what's happening to us, then we will realize that it's not happening to us at all, but for us.
She sounds like Rabbi Jenny, right? The
She
universe
does.
is not happening to us, it's happening for us. And,
It is. It
and
really
sure
is.
enough, how the universe happens, right? We had never met your publicist before. We've never even spoken to her before this morning. And she says, I've got this client. And I said, let's bring her on. And your platform about women empowerment, the Hustle Mama, you actually have another website as well, they tell me, lifestyle, fashion, health, and beauty business. That's part of your online magazine.
Yes, I have an online magazine called Hustle Mama, the magazine for today's powerhouse woman. And we started it about 8 years ago, and I wanted to do it. Honestly, I started it because I tried to write for a magazine and they turned me down. I wanted to be a blogger online, and they said no, they didn't have any room. So I said, okay, I'll start my own. So I started my own magazine, and I made it specifically for women who were up and coming. I wanted women who were working in their own right, furiously for their businesses, to have the opportunity to not only be highlighted in a national publication, but on the cover as well. And we translate into 40 languages. We are now monthly, and it's seen an insurmountable amount of growth because we try to sow in love. Love, reinvention, transformation, change management, mindfulness, abundance, and a grounded spiritual approach to how we do business and reinvent ourselves and shape our lives.
I'm looking at all the articles as we're talking. It's just.
Are you locally based, nationally based, or European based, countrywide?
Well, actually, I'm based in Pennsylvania, but the magazine itself is international.
Okay.
We have, we're currently in distribution through Magster, which is the largest digital distribution in the world. We're also on our website. We also are on print and demand. And we, like I said, we translate into different languages. So if you're in Greece, if you're in Paris, wherever you are, you can go on our website and change to your native language and read our content.
Wow.
And you talk about healed relationships and
yes,
spiritually minded women. I don't know, Ms. Dr. Steffi, I don't know where you've been for the past 4 years, but I'm glad we finally found you, because so much of the transition you and I talk about is this bridge between the spiritual world and the physical world, and I don't even know about your personal life other than the little bit that she told us. You got a lot going on in life right now.
Yes, actually, yes. My son is in a coma. He had an asthma attack and a heart attack and died on the way to the hospital. He was without oxygen for 55 minutes. They call it anoxic brain injury. So physically, he really shouldn't even be here, but he was brought back and put on life support. He was in California during the forest fires in 2017 in the Bay Area. He's a graduate of Syracuse and decided not to go to medical school and to do mission work instead. So he led a purpose life. And now he is in Pennsylvania. We brought him miraculously home. He's off of life support. He was trached up until 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, when his trach came out, and now the doctors realized that he's breathing on his own. He's still in a coma, but that's a miracle. And he's my firstborn, my only son. And I had to kind of, stop everything I was doing to make sure that I could be his advocate and his voice and fight for him to be left alone on life support and to fight for his life. So I've been doing that for the past couple of years, actually. And when you said the connection between spiritual and the physical, my subject matter expertise is actually spiritually based business intelligence. And I believe that everything we do in this life, whether it's social, economical, financial, health and wellness, spiritual, everything is rooted in spirituality and in creation. And so I believe that his being here is purpose. I myself died of an asthma attack 20 years ago, April 1st of 2000, and I was in a coma. And I was in a coma for a week. So I always say, what's the likelihood of a mother and a son both having an asthma attack and both being in comas and both dying and coming back and both being on life support? I'm sure I could win the lottery.
Wow.
Before
a few
those
times.
times. So life is wonderful. It's blessed, it's purpose, and it's all in how we look at what's going on that makes the difference.
Let me ask you a question. You wrote right here, you help bridge the gap between benevolence and business.
Yes.
And I think especially now,
yes.
And I don't know if I'm going to interpret it even as how you wrote it. Right now, where we all are, many people are in a financial business stop or lack. And then there's the benevolence of you want to give and you want to help, but you still have bills to pay. How do we bridge this gap of being conscientious, of spiritually minded, of giving back, but yet business owners for men and women?
Yes, well, the first thing we have to remember is that fair exchange is no robbery. So what is fair exchange exactly? Some people say fair exchange is you pay my price for what I give you. But what if you can't afford to pay my price? Is there another way to exchange and for me to feel like I've been made whole and I've made a difference in your life and provided value? So when I say bridging the gap between benevolence and business, we have to learn that there are more approaches to the way to do business than just cash money. We cannot be mindful of only money in any integration of a business transaction. We have to be mindful of humanity. We have to be mindful of the ability to barter. Remember, this country was started on bartering before it ever became a capitalistic society. And everyone has something they can give. Everyone has something they can exchange. And while business owners need to live and pay their bills and take care of their families, I would venture to say that the more you find a way to be benevolent and to give, the more you'll be provided for. And you won't understand how or why, but you will be.
As you always say, Freddie, God always provides.
Yeah, and it's not about understanding. You know, it's really strange you say that because there's always the belief that if you don't understand why, you won't do it. And that's not necessarily the way the game should be played. Sometimes you just have to do, and the answers will come to you either during or after you've done it, because you're doing it from purity of heart. You're not doing it for something in return. So you don't always need to understand why. You know, you were brought back like your son. I mean, you can't have two miracles in one place and not say that this isn't a miracle. And that's the difference between it happening every day and it happening only one time. That one time is the miracle. Every day is just the ordinary. So look at it for what it's worth.
It's funny. This morning I'm driving here and listening to my Broadway music, right? And it's Everyday Miracles comes on, a song I've never heard. And I'm thinking, I know there's a reason I'm hearing this song today. And at 8 o'clock this morning, it made absolutely no sense to me to be hearing the song of Everyday Miracles. And here sits two incredible people that we have never met or had any contact with. But she sounds a lot like you as far as we're just catching up. It has already happened, she says, right? We know your story happened, your son's story is happening. We're catching up to what this is.
I've been saying
Well,
it
the thing
forever.
is, you don't connect the dots until you look backwards. How many times do they say hindsight is 20/20? So if hindsight is 20/20 and we don't connect the dots until we look backwards, then we must have been a co-creator at some point. There must have been something inside of us that was birthed to have that happen. And all we have to do is clear those lenses and really look at what is happening around us and see how we can participate and be grounded in the now, in the love, in the concept of what's going on around us and make a difference.
And tell us, what type of women and businesses do you help grow business? Are you more of people reach out to your magazine? How can we connect your dots for you?
Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Actually, I help women entrepreneurs. It's easier for me to help women, but I do help men as well. And I basically help them to grow their business. So I take people who have products and services and who are consultants, and I show them how to generate 10 streams of income from their one business idea or platform so that they can build generational wealth. You know, it is our birthright to build generational wealth. So I show them how to have the foundation to actually use that platform that they're delivering and create 10 streams of income from that. And they just call me. All you have to do is contact me through my website or on Facebook. We have a Facebook group, and I conduct classes all year long.
I think you and Dr. Stephanie have some connection, because everything you say, even off air, are the conversations about bringing in other streams of income of what we do, catching up. She's saying it again in her own words, but the message is the same.
Well, she's way ahead of me.
I see that, because she's got the 10 stream of income.
Well, you know, the funny thing is that I got into the streaming game late. I got into the streaming game after I was 40. So when you say to me, 48 is the magic number.
Little 10 streams of income.
Well,
Got that?
I mean, but that was always been my philosophy. Don't rely on one method of making a living. Rely on, it's funny because I always tell people, think about the anatomy. God gave us fingers, right? We got 10 fingers and 10 toes.
Yes.
These are 20 ideas that he is asking to bestow upon your mind to accomplish. Do it once, do it twice. If you do it 20 times, then you're the best. You're a pro. Because this is the reminder. The gift, the Bible says the gift is in your hands. Look at how it's made. Everything you need, you have. That you can't read it or you don't catch up.
Reading the messages.
And that's what it's all about.
You have to just be in alignment and in tune with it. I tell people all the time, spiritually, we are connected to our souls. And when we tune into what our soul is speaking, our Creator breathes life inside of us every single day. We are not here without the breath of life. And when we tap into that, life becomes a different experience. And you were saying 10 fingers and 10 toes. The Bible says your gifts will make room for you. So if the gifts are in your hands and the works of your hands are blessed and making room for you, then those 10 toes are the steps that are ordered, that are proceeding through doors, that are opening, making room for you. So what you work with your hands, you will walk into the promise of and eventually glean from the harvest of what you've sown.
Wow.
I'm going to give you 10 reasons why you should be happy to be alive. A priest told me this once. I said, Father, tell me. And he went like this. That's all he had to do. They're all there.
It's amazing.
Just read it. Just read it.
It is amazing when you actually look back, and I go back to just my morning of my car ride here, and not knowing Elisa.
Rise Above?
Yes, that was yesterday. Was Rise Above. Today was
Yeah.
Everyday Miracles on my Broadway channel, and here she is. I mean, she and her son are two living miracles, and again, that comes through Marnie and Marnie's publicist, and we come full circle.
It's that frequency that we talk about, raising the frequency.
Raise it up.
And your awareness when that happens is you get associated and assimilated with people of the same deal. There's no accident that Callaway's here. There's no accident that Valerie's here. And then you got old school, you got Hector, you got Slick, you got Teddy, and you got an old friend here, an OG. There's no accidents. It happens for a reason. She's here for a reason. And you gotta look at what it is. And you don't have to believe what I'm telling you, but it's gonna hit you over the head and tell you, pay attention.
You got to read the signs.
Yes. Read the signs.
I know. Dr. Stephanie, tell us you've got 2 websites, or one magazine and a website. Give us that information.
Sure. So Hustle Mama is HUSTLEMAMA. So it's hustlemamamagazine.com. And my website, I spell my name differently. It's STEFANYJ, StephanieJ.com. And if you're on Facebook, social media, just go, you can put in the search bar, the Hustle Mama Tribe. And if you want to join the Hustle Mama Tribe, I give away business tips. I give away hacks. I give away everything. 48 laws of prayer and promises of God, everything. We have a great community of women. So if you want to join us, join us. I
think I'm going to join the Hustle Mama Tribe. And she lets men in, so now it's your chance.
I'm in. I'm all in. And I'm going to bring a lot of friends with me because I'm going to tell you, you are like a breath of fresh air.
Thank you.
She walks.
We are in this together. We are one.
Absolutely.
How old is your son?
My son just turned 27 last month.
Wow.
He's
God
a twin.
Nice stuff.
We wish him the best and
Thank
healing
you.
and recovery, and all in God's hands. And thank you so much for joining us. More to come. I'm going to be a member of the Hustle Mama Tribe.
Why not? Listen, thank you for making our Thursday that much more enjoyable and making our day.
Well, thank you so much for having me and welcoming me into your home. I appreciate it, and I'm grateful.
Stay safe,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Stephanie. Let's go to commercial break. When we come back, we're going to wrap up our Thursday.
All right.
Stay tuned as we thank our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
As the coronavirus pandemic continues to run its course, Paramount Property Maintenance is offering the community a helping hand. Introducing the COVID-19 Action Disinfecting Plan, a one-of-a-kind procedure that will effectively clean and disinfect your business or place of residence. Paramount Property Maintenance has years of experience in dealing with biological contaminants, and their methods are proven to be more reliable and more extensive than any janitorial or cleaning service in South Florida. The COVID-19 Action Procedure features the use of hospital-grade disinfectant recommended by the CDC, as well as a highly trained sanitation team that will make sure every surface in the room receives proper treatment. Contact Paramount Property Maintenance today at 305-761-8191 to make your home or workplace COVID-19 free.
The way you live your life says a lot about you. The way you choose to commemorate your lifetime can say even more. It's a single event that speaks volumes. So how do you celebrate a life? Dignity Memorial providers believe that your memorial service should be as unique as you are, reflecting your personality and your passions. It should be a perfectly tailored send-off, a fitting tribute for family and friends to celebrate the person they love. We're professionals at catering to your every need, right down to the catering. In fact, no detail is too small. So when it comes time for a fitting tribute, we'll see that your final wishes are beautifully fulfilled. It's what Dignity Memorial providers are known for. And why you should rely on us to see that your life is well celebrated. The celebration of a lifetime begins here.
Hey folks, this is Callaway here from Callaway's Corner, reminding you all that, like the late great Robert Marley said, every little thing is going to be alright. Alright guys, we gotta stay safe, we gotta stay active, but more importantly, we need to stay alert. This thing's not over yet, but better times are ahead of us, and we're gonna get through this together.
Hey guys, it's Slick. I know, time to roll over and time to get up. We have to be cautious in this pandemic, and it's okay to take your time. But until next time, you can see me here, Slick, every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10:30. And until next time, wash your hands and take a shower.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back.
How do you like that message? Was the message received?
Yeah.
You think?
You know, it's really funny. You and I, we seem to be on the same page of different books.
Explain.
We've had this conversation.
You and I have had the
thousands
conversation.
and thousands of times. Do you think I'm the only person out there that reads this book?
I don't even mean message received for you. I just hope that in general the message today was well received. That it's okay to be where you are, wherever you are right now, and the grass is not always greener. There are people that are walking the walk with more pain than you will ever realize, and they continue to grow and give back and help and persevere and be benevolent and not just stay within.
Well, the bottom line is that people have gifts and then they share it, and they share it with one another. And, you know, it's not about what you know, it's about what you extend from the elbow. And ever since I met you, I remember telling you that story. You could be E equals MC squared. It's funny because Callaway came in here and he was an engineer. He went to school as an engineer by
Business,
trade.
right?
No, engineer, not business, engineer. He was going to be an engineer. He was going to build planes and trains.
And automobiles?
And automobiles. and the bottom line, he's a knowledgeable guy. I says, oh, so you're kind of smart? He says, yeah, I'm a little smart.
He's smart.
He's very smart.
Yeah.
But the object of the game is to extend your knowledge I mean, she's been doing it for 8 years, right? In different platforms, in different messages. And like I tell you, things happen. You just got to catch up.
Things do happen, and it is really all about reading the signs. And I have to tell you, one of the most amazing gifts I've had this week is acknowledging the signs. And when you think and you listen, those voices in your head, and yes, I have many, that says, why is this song on the radio, and you have no idea. And sometimes the voices come to me through song, however the messages are received, in license plates. I mean, I've had many this week driving to our studio, and it's a very short drive now with no traffic. And again today was Everyday Miracles, and I thought, I know I'm supposed to heed this message, and I'm not quite sure why. And there she come, and there she is, and her son, and God bless her son, and our thoughts and prayers a year, wow.
Well, it's funny because when you're in the production business, what begins to happen is you meet people. I mean, how many thousands of people have we met? And then what happens is when you meet an individual and you sit there long enough, 3 minutes is usually what it takes, 2 minutes, you begin to hear messages about why this person is here. I remember when I first talked to Marnie, from Marnie Goldberg, from her show on Tuesday nights, I didn't know her. I didn't know who she was.
We've only known her for 3 weeks.
But I saw the energy coming from her and how gifted she was about being alive. It's the same thing like today. And you sort of have to pass that forward and let her feed those that are hungry for a boost, right? It's like Dr. J says, it's okay not to be okay. Marnie says the same thing. You notice the pattern?
And it is okay, which makes me feel a whole lot better with where I am, because I am okay, but there are many times I'm not okay, and you got to be okay with where you are, and it's moment by moment. It's not even by the day anymore. It's not did you have a good day. It's did you have a good moment. And if you can say you had a good moment of your day, relish that moment. And right now I look across our studio and I see Danielle, and I got to tell you, it just puts a smile on my face to see our lights back up again and to see life back in our studio and to hear, as much as you may hear rumblings behind us, to me, it's a good sound that we're back home.
It's funny because I'm not used to hearing anybody for weeks. And, you know, and people are having conversations and they're getting things together for a photo shoot that Danielle's doing for the crew and everything else. And it's good to get back to hearing the sounds of growth.
Right.
You know, which is really always very cool.
Now, are we a little cautious? Do I have a little bit of a pit in my stomach right now with people here? I do. But you know, I may stay in my bubble and virtually, like Alexa Carlin always says, she like wraps herself in this virtual bubble. I may bubble wrap this 7 feet that we're sitting in. But this is the adjustment that we're all going to have to get used to, and little by little. And someone said, I thought there'd be more people here. I said, we can't have more people here. So,
you know, it's really funny. It's really funny. Perception is so weird. You know, I see the DJ's here. He's going to be taking his picture and everything else. And with DJ, my concern for him is different than my concern for Slick. Is different than my concern for Callaway, for Valerie. Everybody is different. And I look at people individually, and I say, I got to be more careful here. But I should be careful all across. But I got to be more careful here. I got to be aware of what's going on around him, because sometimes we forget. Okay, and I know DJ is a teacher. And you could give DJ 100 people and he will teach them all. But I got to make sure that he understands he's got to distance himself. He's sort of got to peel away until this thing is figured out and we can catch up.
We haven't seen him in months.
I know. But we have to catch up, and this is no different than everything else in our lives in catching up. You got to learn your lesson because it's happened. So we just got to be careful with this.
You know what I'm thinking? I think we're going to put a note on the outside of our door, like Teddy's. No shirt, no shoes, no mask, no entry. And when you come in, wash your hands. There has to, because once people open that door, you don't know what they're looking at, because it's like a candy store in here. And the only time you're going to have their attention is before they open that door. So I think we need to replace what we have with something else because that's the one time we have, because once you walk in here, you're looking around, you got the lights, you got the cameras, we got, art, and it's beautiful in here. It's like ADD on steroids.
We have, you weren't at the meeting.
No.
But we have a code word, and DJ wasn't here. We're going to bring him up to speed as well. We actually have a number, a code word that we use in here. A safe word. And everybody knows what they're supposed to do.
Okay.
So we're going to test that today to make sure. And you sort of have to tinkle with it a little bit and everything else. But everybody here has a responsibility. It isn't Dawn's responsibility. It isn't Freddie's responsibility. Everybody's going to have a responsibility. Yes. And if it means that we have to take chairs on the outside, not when it's raining, I understand, and we have to put people out there as well, then that's what we're going to do. I think I found out the reason we have a bay door is to be used to extend, because I got to keep the distance there. So until we can figure out what's going on, we're going to be on the safe side.
100%. Well, what a day. Right, we walk in, we don't know what today's going to hold. It was you and me this morning, and everything was running remotely, and little by little you feel energy and come to life. And you know what? It's okay not to be okay. It's okay to feel whatever you are feeling, and just know that there are so many resources and opportunities that we hope we're sharing for all of you, from Dr. Stephanie to Dr. Lemansky, who is here in Boca, to getting a mask from VacMD, food from Pizza District delivered. Crazy Uncle Mike has now music back in his house. There's so many great things I actually just saw. I'm not quite sure I'm in agreement with this either, that now things will be opening to capacity at 50%. All we can say is if this does not feel right in your heart, then do what feels right in your heart and don't go. Because even if things are open, doesn't mean you have to go. So just be prudent and do what feels right. And what they say yesterday, Dr. Bava said, use common sense.
And this is why I encourage Slick Speaks to do what he did. Yes. It's slick to wear a mask. It is cool to be safe. These are the new messages. Yes. Like Air Jordans used to be just do it. Remember that? Just do it. Made $1 billion on just do it. Well, it's cool to be safe. It's cool to wear a mask. It's cool to be distant, socially distant, because you're doing the right thing, and there ain't nothing wrong with being cool.
But we've got a lot more shows coming up today. At 2:30, we've got a new faith-based show, the Faith Truth Network.
Faith Truth Network.
Right? So they're going to be joining us at 2:30 at their own show, actually. At 4:30, we're finishing our Kids in Caves, and man, do they have a great show coming out on Monday. They have a young girl, 15 years old, they interviewed yesterday. She is the creator of her own makeup line, her own clothing line. This girl is incredible. And then we've got our shows tonight, and of course the 2-minute warning at 7:30 with Asante Samuels and Tony Sands.
Don't
Amazing,
miss that. That's going to be out of sight.
So a lot of great things coming out. Please let us know how we can help you. And as she said, from benevolence to business, bridging the gap, and I think that is a great message.
And you just got to pay attention and listen.
Follow your signs. Let us know how we can help you. Always give us a call at 888-994-4995. Find us on Facebook, social media. Send us a message. We are here to help you. Have a great day, everyone. Be kind to each other. We'll see you tomorrow, pajama time.
And as always, wash your hands and don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show is over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. Well, see you next time.